There is a generation of young adults and children who just never knew, like these 4- and 5-year-olds, who, when I asked, "Do you know who this is?" just gave back a long silence before they started guessing.
Is he a library man?
Library man? No.
Is he in the Japan?
Nope.
Is he Barack Obama?
No, he's not Barack Obama. No. Because they never got the chance to know what you have to be at least 20 or 21 to know.
That's Mr. Rogers.
He was lots of fun to watch.
Yeah?
Yeah, I wish I could be princess and live in the castle and have the king and queen. Oh yeah, I love that.
Can you identify this man?
Yes.
Yes, happily.
What's this feeling?
My heart.
Your heart?
That's my heart right there.
Really?
Yeah, I love him.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood.
You think of the song that Mr. Rogers made famous, that innocence-filled ode to getting along with each other, and then you consider how utterly that song would fail today as a soundtrack for the present moment.
So your staff is speaking Spanish to customers when they should be speaking English.
Do something about your dad's immigration practices, you feckless
The us versus them way we demonize each other. With the fashion for nastiness in social media, people calling each other names, and the incivility of discourse among our leaders.
To say, get that off the field right now, out, he's fired.
Or does it? Could it in fact be that we need Mr. Rogers now more than ever?
Please won't you be?
Here, I just read something I think came from you. It's you I like, every part of you, your skin, your eyes, your feelings. Whether old or new, I hope you'll remember, even when you're feeling blue, that it's you I like, it's you yourself, it's you I like.
It helps to be loved in order to work in this life. In fact, I'm sad for those who don't feel that they are loved. And this book is a compilation of things that I've said in speeches and in other books and in newspaper columns and on the neighborhood for a long time. Somebody said, "How long did it take you to write this book?" And I said, 40 years.
So this is something you've been, in a sense, as you have grown and learned, this is a distillation of that.
Yes.
It's about what, in the end?
It's about being. It's about the things that matter to me.
Yeah.
It's about the white spaces between the paragraphs, which I think are more important than any of the text, because it allows you to think about what's just been said. I had a professor one time, I think he's on page 20 or 22. His name was Dr. William Orr.
Right.
And he said, "You know, Fred, there's one thing that evil cannot stand, and that is forgiveness." And you notice the rest of the page is blank.
Yes.
It needs a lot of time to think about that.
Do you know that song that I sometimes sing called It's You I Like? I'd like to sing that to you and with you.
Okay, sure.
It's you I like. It's not the things you wear. It's not the way you do your hair. But it's you I like. The way you are right now. The way down deep inside you. Not the things that
I do.
Not your fancy chair. That's just beside you. But it's you I like. Every part of you. Your skin, your eyes, your feelings, whether old or new. I hope that you'll remember, even when you're feeling blue, that it's you I like. It's you yourself. It's you. It's you I like. And it is you I like, Jeff.
Thanks.
And there must be times when you do feel years ahead.
Hi, Officer Clements. Come in.
Rogers, how are you?
Fred Rogers was also a subtle revolutionary. He introduced Francois Clemens into the cast at a time when African Americans had little visibility on television, playing a police officer.
I had no desire to be a police officer. It was the last thing on my mind. But Fred was a very persuasive person.
And he had them cool their feet down together. Clemens told me that Rogers, who was also an ordained Presbyterian minister, told him the scene was inspired by the New Testament account of Jesus washing the feet of his disciple Peter.
That feels better already.
This was no accident. He knew what he was doing.
On that day I spent with Fred in 2001,
Tell people how to fly.
Clemens says he didn't get Fred Rogers' message for a long time.
That's why you're so special.
And then one day,
During that segment, we made eye contact. And he said, you know, I like you just the way you are. You know, you make every day a special day. And I like you just the way you are. And something inside of me turned on, like it's turning on right now. And I thought, he's talking to me.
We've just got that inside of us. And when we can know it for sure, it's such a good feeling.
No man had ever told me he loved me, and he did. And I knew he meant it. I knew he meant it.
He certainly made me a better person.
in 1969, Joanne Rogers watched from home as her husband testified before Congress.
All right, Rogers, you got the floor.
I could tell that he was nervous.
Defending public television to a skeptical Senator John Pastore.
You see the program itself, or any one of them, you see.
We made 100 programs for EEN, the Eastern Educational Network, and then when the money ran out, people in Boston and Pittsburgh and Chicago all came to the fore and said, we've got to have more of this neighborhood expression of care. And this is what I give. I give an expression of care every day to each child to help him realize that he is unique. I end the program by saying, you've made this day a special day by just your being you. There's no person in the whole world like you, and I like you just the way you are. And I feel that if we in public television can only make it clear that feelings are mentionable and manageable, we will have done a great service for mental health. I think that it's much more dramatic that two men could be working out their feelings of anger. Much more dramatic than showing something of gunfire. I'm constantly concerned about what our children are seeing. And for 15 years I have tried in this country and Canada to present what I feel is a meaningful expression of care.
Do you narrate it?
I'm the host, yes. And I do all the puppets, and I write all the music, and I write all the scripts.
Well, I'm supposed to be a pretty tough guy, and this is the first time I've had goosebumps for the last 2 days.
Well, I'm grateful, not only for your goosebumps, but for your interest in our kind of communication. Could I tell you the words of one of the songs which I feel is very important?
Yes.
This has to do with that good feeling of control, which I feel that children need to know is there. And it starts out, what do you do with the mad that you feel? And that first line came straight from a child. I work with children, doing puppets in very personal communication with small groups. What do you do with the mad that you feel? When you feel so mad you could bite. When the whole wide world seems oh so wrong, and nothing you do seems very right. What do you do? Do you punch a bag? Do you pound some clay or some dough? Do you round up friends for a game of tag or see how fast you go? It's great to be able to stop when you've planned a thing that's wrong and be able to do something else instead. And think this song. I can stop when I want to, can stop when I wish, can stop, stop, stop anytime. And what a good feeling to feel like this.
and know that the feeling is really mine. Know that there's something deep inside that helps us become what we can. For a girl can be someday a lady, and a boy can be someday a man.
I think it's wonderful. I think it's wonderful. Looks like you just earned the $20 million.
To do.
The film also includes interviews with someone who spent a lot of years with Mr. Rogers.
50 years you were married to Mr. Rogers, which makes you Mrs. Rogers.
That's right. That's right. I'm Joanne.
Joanne, who told me she also thinks the times we're in could use her husband again, who happened to be a lifelong Republican.
Here we have somebody leading us right now who is not a forgiver. His values are very, very different from Fred's values, almost completely opposite.
You could imagine Fred Rogers actually coming out and speaking up about that? Person whose name we are not naming?
I think he might have to.
Really? So that would be political. I mean,
that would be political.
Which was something he tried to avoid.
Yes, yes.
But Fred was cautious about the fact that one of the characters on the show, Officer Clemens again, was in real life gay, and Fred wanted that kept quiet.
There was a part of me that was heartbroken. I'm also a realist. There were lots of places where I could not be openly gay.
So Fred, in a way, was a revolutionary, and in a way, he was not a revolutionary.
That's right. He always was thinking about that audience of adults who were going to take away his children.
Turn off the television.
Yes.
Do you think Fred today would give Francois that same advice?
Probably not. No, not now.
So how about those kids who never heard of Mr. Rogers, who grew up knowing mostly entertainment that is action-packed, ever-changing, and fast-moving? Well, here was a visit to a farm with Fred Rogers. 13 slow-moving minutes, and the kids were, well, they were entranced.
The machine fills them up so fast.
It was nice seeing you, Fred.
Good to see you.
Bye-bye.
Who liked it?
I liked it. I liked it. I liked it.
And what did they see in Fred Rogers?
He seems like he's nice and he helps a lot.
So there it is, Fred Rogers still making connections that, who knows, could last a lifetime.
I would watch it every day and I'll watch it after that day. I don't have the TV. I'll watch it until I get old.
For Nightline, I'm John Donvan in New York.